Good afternoon, and thanks for being here in beautiful Verona today. I am Adolfo Rebugini. I am the general manager for Verona Fiere. At Verona Fiere, we're very peculiar. We like to set ourselves apart from the rest of trade shows operators because we produce most of our shows. So when you look at a show like Fieracavalli, we just don't look at the numbers because we are custodian of a passion and we're doing it since 1898. So it's 126 years, just counting 1 year of COVID, that we have the privilege to run this show. And here, we keep on evolving because everything that relates to horses, it is not just about the horse itself. It's not just about the athlete or the owner or the entire world, but it's about well-being and wellness because horses are carrying a lot of significance, a lot of meaning, and of course it is in our heart. We want to make sure that we're doing everything possible to represent this word with a lot of respect. So for the first time here, we want to give the spotlight to something that is the wellness of the horse, and we want to also give the spotlight to the owners. So I was briefed before, and we're going to be doing something very different for the first time at the end of the World Cup jumping, because we are not going to be awarding just the winner, but we're going to be awarding the owner of the winner itself. This is what Fieracavalli is all about. I want to extend also a very warm greeting on behalf of the chairman of the board of directors, Federico Bricolo, who's attending the World Cup event right about now. And so on behalf of the entire team of Fieracavalli and Armando Di Ruzza, I just want to welcome you here today, and I don't want to steal any more time. So without further ado, I'm going to give now the stage to the honored guests who are here next to me. Thank you.
So thank you, everybody, to be here with us. A huge thank you to Fieracavalli and Verona Fiera that allows us to organize this fantastic meeting. And thank you to the Jumping Owners Club that we want to present to you today. I start from my consideration. I'm the founder of Scuderia 1918, but I'm so proud to be an owner. And when my horse win, I'm so excited and so happy that unluckily I want to buy more horses, hoping to win more, but it not work like this. But in any way, everybody knows the horses, everybody knows the rider, nobody knows the owner. And what is terrible, that between owner, we don't know each other. So I think that actually is the owner that represents the horse, and for sure should be involved in all the decision for our sport. And I'm sure that if we are able to create a big community of owners, this becomes super powerful, and we can help to develop our sport for the future and better. But this community already exists, is the Jumping Owners Club. And so I'm so honored to have here Robin Pasky, the chairman of the Jumping Owners Club, Caroline Batchford, vice chairman, Xavier Boudon, director of the Owners Club. And just to tell how passionate, enthusiastic we are, Robin, she owns Gazelle, one of the best horses ever. She owns 8 5-star Grand Prix. She is owner of Henry von Eckermann. She is owner of Mecklenburg, too much. So it's impossible for us to win until when you continue the sport. And Caroline, she's the owner of Vermento. Vermento is a fabulous stallion that 2 weeks ago, or 3, won the World Cup in Helsinki with Robert Whittaker. And Xavier Boudon is a owner and breeder. So it's a community of people that is united from the passion, the enthusiasm. I would like today This is the first time we organize a summit where owners can spend time together, starting to introduce you what is the Jumping Owners Club, hoping that some of you will be interested to be part of it in the future. A second moment, we want to share experience, because all the owner have his own vision and idea. This is the good moment to share something. And at the end, spend some time together to know each other better. And I want to remember that 6:30, we are invited from the Italian Army in the Circolo Ufficiali for a cocktail. And I hope that all of you will be with us. It's less than 1 kilometer from here. Will be great because we can speak in a friendly way. So thank you very much to everybody. I give the speech to Robin Paschi, Chairman of the Jumping Owners Club.
Thank you very much, Emanuele. I just want to first thank you all for being here and joining us for this being our first summit. And you will be inaugural people, so to speak, who will be learning about the Jumping Owners Club. But I also want to thank Fieracavalli. What a magnificent job you have done on putting on an exhibition about horses. I actually got lost today amongst millions of people, it seemed like, but it was something to be very proud of. I just want you to know. And you were very fortunate here for another reason. You have one of the most enthusiastic owners in the world with Emanuele. And I have run into him in many places. He is always side by side with his horses and his riders. This is what we're looking for. We're trying to do that thing, encouragement, to show people the joy of horse ownership. And you can tell by the smile on our faces when we walk into a facility like this and see magnificent horses performing, and even for seeing the children with their ponies. This is what develops horse ownership, is an exhibition like this. So we're very, very proud to be here. And my job today is to talk with you about how we developed the Jumping Owners Club. And the reason that we call it club, which seems rather informal, is that we want to be informal. We want people to feel welcome and that they are joining a group of people who are like-minded and enthusiastic about what they're doing with their horses. The formality that we have for the Jumping Owners Club is that we are an official recognized club of the FEI. The FEI being, as you know, the regulatory body and ruling entity for all the horse shows in the world that we are associated with. So we are officially under their umbrella. We have a memorandum of understanding, which gives us the right to be representative of the FEI. And that is really crucial because that didn't exist before. We got a formal memorandum of understanding signed in 2017, 2016, 2017, and we have been operating under that. It gives us the opportunity to go to FEI sports assemblies, FEI general assemblies, as representatives of owners. That's why I want to encourage you to become members, because when you are a member of the Jumping Owners Club, you meet other owners and people like ourselves who represent the club. If you have issues, questions about regulations, questions about how horse shows are run, questions about literally the function of the horse shows in the ranking of our horses, etc., you can easily get answers from the rest of us, and email, text. Xavier is our director. He's always available to anybody who is a member of the Jumping Owners Club. We often send around newsletters talking about the new regulations and rules that the FEI is proposing, so we can receive comments from our membership and from people who are, concerned about the issues, who want to contribute to FEI ideas and regulations. We meet informally and formally. We have a formal General Assembly where we actually go over our budgets and our goals for the year. We do that in February. During the rest of the year, we have general assemblies, as we call them, or general meetings that take place at various horse shows, whether they be World Cups or they be World Cup finals or sometimes at Aachen, places like that. We meet informally and discuss ideas that are on our minds. Very important. It also gives you the opportunity to exchange experiences. And experiences with horses, as you know, are varied, go across the gamut, whether it's an illness situation, a contract situation with a rider, trainer, all those types of things. We talk amongst ourselves as to how we handle each of these. I have learned so much over the I first joined the JOC in 2016? Yes. 2016. He keeps track of that, I don't. Long time ago. But it has been so rewarding because of the exchange of information, particularly. You can never, as you all know, have too much information about the horse business. Every day you can learn something new about the horse business. And as owners, it becomes extremely significant when you are presenting your horse on the world stage. So our idea is, if we grow the Jumping Owners Club and include people from all over the world, we will get greater input and therefore have greater impact. That's the goal. The other issues that I wanted to talk to you about were that's how we started. The FEI actually joined with a group of owners in 2004 and 2005 to create the club. Then it was a matter of them trying to decide on criteria to join the club. That has evolved. I loved that word you used earlier because it is true. Everything we do evolves. And it evolved from a small group to a larger and a larger group when they discovered that people were arriving at horse shows as owners with no knowledge of even how to get an accreditation, or the accreditors acknowledging that there were owners in the audience. All of this has progressively evolved to the point where now your rider he's implored to educate you and the accreditors how to allow you access to the horse show and access to the barns. All of these things are really important for owners to learn, and it wasn't a playbook before, so we're developing that. And we want to be the friendly greeters at the horse show. The Jumping Owners Club members are the ones who should be out front, and they are. I mean, they are always greeting each other. We see each other quite a bit. I see a few people in the audience who I see often at really top horse shows. So I'm encouraging that. Membership is the sort of straight way of reaching out to, we will pass around the contact information, but reaching out to our website, which is jumpingownersclub.com. And there is an application form. The application form is for every member to list the horses that they own, the riders that they support, and to submit that to our director so that we can put it to the committee. We have a committee of senior members Yes, I love being called a senior, but that's it. We are senior members of the committee who have been around a long time. I think that's the best way to describe it. And we confer on new members and try to develop a welcoming situation for new members. And we want to be able to establish a time to meet people who are desirous of being new members. Emanuele can remember his first time, and I met him in Geneva, sure. I think, and things like that. Some of our best friendships have been formed through the Jumping Owners Club. Our other big goal is to give a year-end award for the jumping owner who is considered the best owner in the world at that time, and that is given to the owner who has the greatest number of points for horses. And at the moment, our criteria is you can have maximum 3 horses, competitive, and they take the best scores of all 3. But many owners have one with just 1 horse, and that one in particular is George Cagnier, who owns the fabulous horse King Edward. So you could do it with 3 horses, or you could do it with 1 horse if you have that really special horse.
I prefer King Edward.
You want King Edward, there we go. Wouldn't we all like that? But we all aspire to that, and we all have genuinely competitive, great horses, and in our minds, they're the best horse in the world. But we do this because we want that recognition, and it's called the FEI Owners Award. For the last few years, we have given this award away at the horse show in Basel, and the reason it is Basel is not any special reason other than the fact that it is the first major 5-star indoor after the end of the year. Calculating these numbers is a little bit taxing according to the FEI. That's what they told me. I said, well, I could do it pretty quickly, but they use a certain calculation to get to this final owner's award. So we cannot give it away until the first, I guess it's the first week in January, because they're calculating. And now, as you all know, horse shows never end. It used to be we were finished to the beginning of November or October or something like that. We're never ending. So we are going to Geneva, and you're going to England. Has a show on Christmas, right? Yes, or the day before.
We have the London International Horse Show, which is just before Christmas.
Yes.
And some riders still come across for it, so
yeah,
we're delighted with that.
Yeah, it's amazing. So we go all year long, and then we start again in January. So we don't have much time, but we do award this award, and it is recognized by the FEI. Let me see, what are other points for you? Do you have something you want to mention?
If you want to...
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we've been in existence for 20 years. We have representation from 5 different continents, and that we're very proud of. And as I mentioned, we are an official stakeholder for the FEI, and that means that on the FEI website, you can see all the stakeholders that the FEI recognize as official. So we are official, and we do go to their General Assembly, as I mentioned, and their Sport Assembly. You can speak to the events, right, that we have.
Yeah. Each year we identify a number of events which we're going to organise. Some of them are regular events on the calendar. For example, we go to Geneva pretty much every year. But we're also trying to bring the Jumping Owners Club to events that we haven't been to in the past. For example, we had an event in Hickstead, at Hickstead in the UK this year, which went really well. and resulted in new members from the United Kingdom. And then we've also got events as far away as the USA, but we'd like to extend that in the future even further to make sure we're genuinely representative of owners worldwide. And then I was lucky enough to attend the Sports Forum in Lausanne, representing the JOC last year, and we will be sending a representative again this year.
Does anyone have any questions for us about?
Oh, we're going to do questions later.
So I think about the criteria to become a member, if you want to say something, the level of the horses or something like this.
At the moment, the criteria is to own horses that compete at 2-star and above. I think it's more, you will more likely find that it is people who compete horses 3-star and above. So we also ask that you try to have 1 or 2 recommendations from someone who is a member of the club, or try to meet someone who is a member of the club, so that we can confer and talk with you about what membership means. There's not heavy criteria. There is a membership fee. We used to call it just an annual fee, but we found that became a little bit difficult because it was a little like your magazine subscription. If you didn't renew it immediately, you were obviously not a member all of a sudden. So we have now made it so you can buy an annual membership, or you could buy 3-year membership. I recommend the 3-year membership, so your alarm clock goes off in 3 years instead of in 1 year. I have that problem of sending. We have our official location in Switzerland, so the membership fees are in euros. The membership fee is 300 euro, 200 or 300? 300 euros a year. So, and if you buy for 3 years, you get a discount. Correct?
Super.
Discount. So it's well worth doing. But it gets you on the list for the newsletter. It gets you on the list for the dissemination that we do of new rules and regulations. It allows you to comment back to the JOC to give concerns. We like comments about what has happened at the horse shows, so that we can pass that on to the official organizers committee, which is another stakeholder for the FEI. So this, once you're on our list, you get all this information. The other thing is we like to know what shows you're attending, but by listing the horses and the riders, we can hone in on who's going to be at which shows so that we can put our invitations out. We oftentimes secure VIP tables at horse shows, and we like to extend that to our members because sometimes it's hard to get a viewing seat, so we extend that to our members. We access that, and we pay for it. What other things do we do that you can think of?
I think that's
Did I cross?
No. I think that's fabulous. The only thing I would add is I knew absolutely nobody, and they still let me in. So please don't think that you have to be part of the well-known group of owners to become a member. I most certainly wasn't.
No. And I think that, again, we would want to talk about our experiences. What it does is it encourages you to go to the horse shows. I think sometimes owners are intimidated. I mean, you have to go all the way across the world and be by yourself somewhere, because oftentimes, 2 of you don't want to go at the same time, whatever. It is a way in which to join. You can just text Xavier, or send an email to me. Are you going to this horse show? Is there someone you know? It makes a big world of difference. And then you get the inside track to what is happening at the horse show, both the seating, social events, that kind of thing. And again, it's turned into a really valuable tool for me. I will tell you that since May, I have not been in America more than 2 weeks, actually. So that's because there have been so many competitions worldwide, and I find them to be so fascinating and really fun to attend, in addition to stimulating. And there are always new horses to find at these events, which is also fascinating. But I actually had been in Mexico, then I went to Washington, D.C., then I went back to Mexico, and then I came here. Mexico has some magnificent horse shows and magnificent riders at this point in time, and they're developing their scene, as is the rest of Latin America. But I will tell you that I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't have gone. So I feel it's really important for us to experience the environment of horse shows. And we can make it easier for you and a little more accommodating, and a lot more accommodating, because it is very hard to go in by yourself and just say, I'm an owner, and see what's going to happen to you from the steward who doesn't, or the person who's taking your ticket. They're not going to know. But we can assist you with that. I wanted you to know that.
Thank you. So, thank you very much. I hope that for the question, I think it's better to leave them when we finish, so we can go take all the time we want, and then during the cocktail will be easy to approach the people. Now you know perfectly who is the representative of the jumping of the club. So thank you very much. And now we pass to the second topics, that is sharing experience. I would like to show you something that at Scuderia 1918 we did. So as an owner, we have created a research and training center, because we want to go deep in a lot of detail, because success, you reach success if you reduce the mistake. So we try to work with the scientists and riders to do better. And when I spoke with other owners what we do, I see that they are interested to do. And we want to be inclusive, even because if we can work on bigger sample of horses or studying, the result is much more interesting. So the idea is, when we started this research center, is how can we choose better horses? Because the problem is that all the owners want the same, and it's not easy. We buy younger and younger, and to judge quality, to judge the potential is something that just only with subjective experience is not easy to do. So we try to use the science to help a little bit. And I'm sure that when you buy a good horse, you want to keep him in the best way. So for the welfare of the horse and to maximize the performance, we need the help of the science. That's why I want to make sure a little video. You can go. So, a huge welcome to the university that work with us. We have Torino University, Parma University. That's tutto. And I'm so happy if today is only the objective is to give you a panoramic, an idea of what we do, but for sure then we can go deeper even after the summit. This is just to make you understand that a lot of things we can do to do better. So I leave the speak to, yes, sorry, it's your turn.
No, so just say hi. So welcome to everyone. I'm Marta Tagliaferri, so CEO of Scuderia 1918. And so today we have just seen our research and training center where we carry out different research with three main goals. So one is, of course, going deep, knowing better the horses, because everyone wants the best welfare for them. So Emanuela Valle will talk today a lot of things that we have done in this year. And the second part will speak from the researcher Laura Ozzola, that is about video analysis and analyze the sport performance. So we use video analysis and intelligence artificial, and so she will explain better than me. And the last but not the least is probably my favorite, I'm sorry for that, but is genomic study, is analyze the DNA, because we need to understand better the breeding part and the selection of sport horses. So the researcher Michela Blondi will speak about that. So we'll enjoy the presentation, and if you need after that something, we will be around.
Good afternoon to everybody, and thank you, Marta, for introducing me. But also thank you to be here and let me to talk here into this nice conference. I'm a little bit worried because this is the first time, so I'm not useful to this kind of public, but I hope that you can enjoy our experience. Because today we want to present the research that we are doing to the research center with Scuderia 1918. So thank you to Scuderia, Marta and Emanuele, that have started that project with the university, because it's a big deal to try to do research in the equine field. So we want to introduce our idea. We want also to share with you our methods and collaboration. I'm not working alone, so I present to you my colleagues that work with me, and they are really good in their research field, but also our new technology that we are going to see, and also we will do and conclude with a call for action, because we need your help. So, as Tim Parkins will say at the starting, we are here because we love horses, and we want to have the best for them. And we want to have the best horse, we want to select the best morphology, we want also to have the best movement, athletic gesture. We have evidence that horse, when they jump, should have a specific rhythm that is around 110 BPM, because that led them to have the power for jump. We want also to have the best management. We want to have the best barn, the best foot in arena to avoid injuries. And we want also to have the best feed and forage for them. But what they need really. Many times we should start to think that we should do effort to really understand what horses are and what they need. And I am a owner like many of you, have horses, and I love my horses. But during my career, I discovered that many times we have so many not real belief in the equestrian community. And that thanks because I can do research and I combine my passion with research. So I do research on equine nutrition, equine health, but also performance. So I did research in America with the treadmill. I did research on eventing horse, jumping horse, because we need to understand the requirement. But also we need to share the research. So thanks to Scuderia 1918 and their journal, Cavalli Cavalieri, this is managed by Susi Cottica, we try to share our knowledge and share with that with the equestrian community. Because many times we still have myth in the equine sector. For example, there are still people that believe that brand meshes helps horses, but actually we don't have really scientific evidence. Or we have other myths that say that horses do not have water temperature preferences. But they do not drink when the water is too cold, and they also have preferences for water bowel type. That's why, for example, in the research center, we have put a system to monitor how much water they drink in a day. And in that day, this horse number 5 has drunk more than 50 liters of water because it was fasted to do a gastroscopy, and that was the reason. So monitoring them every day is fundamental for their welfare. Also, we should think that the horses do not perceive the world as we do. For example, they not see the same colors as we do. They do not see red. And I suggest you to go on YouTube and see this beautiful video that is done by colleagues like Sue Dyson, where they show how horses perceive the world. And I want to show you now a little extract of the video where you can learn how the horses perceive an obstacle.
Horses do raise their heads as they approach a jump, or they try to. The horse will look up to try to get that binocular vision. The very strongest color that a horse sees is yellow.
Horses only have cones that can pick up 2 colors, yellow and blue. Horses cannot see red.
Horses do not have the ability to distinguish between red and green. Those 2 colors look the same to a horse. So, if you want to get a horse to jump a little bit higher over a fence, put a yellow rail on top. Horses also do a good job of seeing blue, particularly a kind of turquoise blue, and they do well with black and white if there's a high contrast background.
So a really nice extract of this beautiful video that they perform about horses, and please go to see the video because it's really, really well done. So with my research team, I'm not working alone. We have Federica, Clara, and Martina. We are doing a lot of research and we are sharing many information with the owners. We manage also the nutritional clinic, where we see a lot of horses of many types, but also horses that are in our clinics. For example, that was a horse that have problem to eat. And during one of my routine visits as a veterinary nutritionist, I met Marta and Emanuele. And in that moment, I discovered their enthusiasm for horses and that they want to do something for that. So we started to discuss many ideas, and today we are sharing our idea to bring science in the Scuderia for a better world for horses. And thanks to the support of Scuderia, we try to create a meaningful connection with the horse community, because we should share knowledge to improve their welfare, but also to help owners, for example, to buy the right horse. So let's go to the project. The project is called CHAMP because it's combining athletic measurement with precision genomics, and is divided in working package. The first one is performance improvement. The second one is sport analysis, and the third one is genetic. We are going into deep of each working package. I will discuss mainly the first one and the second working package, but my colleagues, Laura, will talk about image analysis, and we go to genetic after. So just a short introduction on what we did in the last 1 year. We start from the performance improvement. It means nutrition, management, metabolic variables, and food in arena in the research center. So, for example, we have started to move from a obese horse to a healthy horse. So we revisited all the diet of the horses, but also improved the nutritional plan to develop a correct top line of the horses. Thanks to Ferrante, that is our caveat in all our experiments, we have also used a lot of systems to monitor the horse performance. So blood lactate, heart rate measurement, and now we are able to measure the heart rate during, for example, in real time, during, for example, a jumping. So you can see that the heart rate is moving because the horse is jumping. And we can measure also the heart rate of the rider, the blue, and the red, the horse, in the same session. And you can see that the rider and the horse heart rate is coupled because there is a sort of connection between them. And to special microphone that we have, let's say, used many times, we are now able to measure the breath of the horse. How deep is it and how long is it? Because when the horse jumps, does keep its breath, is not breathing. So I want that you listen how he's keeping the breath during the jumping session. Ferrante now is arriving. Because the horse can breathe just when he's cantering or galloping, you know, because there is a kind of system that lets the airs going in and out from the lungs. The last part of this first working package is the studies of footing arena. We had a grant from the NOTES project from the European community. It's called the SAFE, because with this grant, we started to study with technosoils with the collaboration of the department of my university, like chemistry and hard science. And we develop technosoils that are using recycled materials that have no other use in the field. And here we have built 5 boxes. One is the gold standard box with the classical sand, and the other are the box with the new sand. We develop a traction system that let us to try different shoes, one iron versus plastic, and we have measured a lot of variables to see if these materials can be used even in the horse arena. So we measure our new sand with technical criteria from FEI. So, for example, cushioning, grip, uniformity, with this special traction tester that is already used in other studies. And we have finished the studies, and we saw that, for example, that the box 2, that is including a new recycled sand, is a really promising sand that is performing the same like the sand that they usually is using in the arena. The other working package is the working package 2, sport analysis with morphology and image analysis and accelerometer that will let my colleagues to talk about. And for this reason, we have involved specialists. You know, we are growing our group because we are evolving from small to big to try to make always the best. So we obtained, thanks to their collaboration, another grant. So thanks to Laura, we will start in January a PhD student that will study just the interaction of genetics and phenotype. So what we will do? We will use this system that is the image method. I suggest you to download it. It's free, and you can measure your horse. We have validated with some studies and data that we have presented to conference and abstract. So we have measured the horse, and we know that now is reliable. So different people with different horses get the same result. And you can measure different points in the horse. Now we are, for example, able from a picture, knowing its height, are able to measure the horse length, the horse shoulder, the angle, for example, of the shoulder or the hook. And that's are really important parameters in the selection of the horses. And we know that many studbooks use the evaluation of the horse is just by looking to, or making direct measurement on the horse. But we need to start to make them more objective. The last part of this working package is to study the sport performance of horses with image analysis. We have tried many systems, but today I'm presenting to you the ones that are promising. The one is geometric morphometric, and the other one is Kinovea, because we think that is really important to study how the morphology can affect the performance. So, for example, how much power the horse can develop during a jump. So, with the geometric morphometrics, and thanks to my colleagues from the Department of DBIOS and the University of Torino, we are able now to evaluate the horse with an objective method during the approach. This is the head, the neck, the front leg, and the hind legs. During the approach, takeoff, flight, and landing. But we are able also to measure the rider. That is the head, the back, and the legs. And you can see the rider here, during the landing, was keeping its knee really far from the body because it was opening. So that system is really sensible to study the variation of the shape of the rider or the horse. The last method that we have just started to use and implemented is this sport analysis system used for human. It's free. You can use it. It's a kind of art to start to learn how to use it. But using marker, you know that dots on the horse, you can track the horse like we did. We track in this video the horse and the rider, and you can obtain the speed and the acceleration of each body part to understand, in our idea, how morphology can interact with the jumping quality of the horse. The last part of our big jump study is the working package 3 with the genetic. So we have our colleagues from Parma, Michela, and her PhD student that have just joined us in the last 3 months, but they have bring to us, also with the support of Scuderia that is giving us some research grant, They have participated to a grant of their university, and we won other money for doing our studies. So that is a big project. But today we want to share our progress because we think that it's really important to study the performance of the horse for the welfare point of view. So I think one of our mission as a university is try to bring science inside the barn. And we should move from a traditional approach to a new level of equine excellence with science, technology, and only in that way we can promote the horse welfare. So today we are here to share, because when we share, we care. And I would like to introduce my next colleagues, Laura, that she is an expert in PI vision.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to present our work here. I'm so happy to be here. And let's talk about some artificial intelligence apply, of course, on horses. My name is Laura. I work at the Department of Veterinary Sciences of the University of Turin. I'm a veterinary doctor, but I work for many years in a research institute with engineers, physicists, data scientists. So now I'm a sort of hybrid in this field. My research indeed focuses mainly on use of technologies combined with the artificial intelligence to evaluate the behavior of animals, welfare, performance, productivity, because I work on dairy cows, poultry, and of course on horse. I'm an owner. Sorry, Emanuele, I put the picture of my horse. He's not a jumping horse, he's a quarter horse, but he is the love of my life, and I put the pictures. Why use the technologies and the artificial intelligence in this sector? I think that this could be a great opportunity in this sector for owners, for veterinary doctors, for trainers, for riders. First of all, because the traditional monitoring, the traditional method to observe animals, like the direct observation, could be very imprecise. It's time-consuming and also can suffer of subjectivity, because two people that observe the same horse can see totally different things, due, for example, for the experience of the observer, or for environmental condition, for personal bias, and so on. So we need some objective method to observe our horses. So artificial intelligence and sensor can help us to have an objective pictures of our horses, to monitor health, to optimize trainings, and when it's possible also to prevent injuries. But let me say, what is artificial intelligence? Because everybody today talk about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is in our life. You have to thinking about, I don't know, about Netflix. You have Netflix, I think. Netflix use algorithm of artificial intelligence to recommended movies and series. Or you have to thinking about the Roomba robot to clean houses, use artificial intelligence algorithm, or our lovely ChatGPT, use artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is in our life, but at the end, artificial intelligence is a simple thing, because it's a common sense except done by a computer. Like human beings make decision based on previous experience. For example, I don't know, I want to choose the location for my vacation, I want to buy a car, I make some decision based on my previous experience. In the same way, the algorithm of artificial intelligence, algorithm is basically a mathematical rules, make prediction based on data, but data that we provide, because the algorithm of artificial intelligence are not absolutely intelligent by itself or smart by itself. We have to give a lot of data to this algorithm, a lot of information. They take this information, make a real training, learn a lot about this information, and after that can find pattern or make some prediction. Okay, let me talk about the computer vision. I love computer vision. I work a lot on computer vision because combine technologies and artificial intelligence. Is the use of cameras and artificial intelligence to take information on images and video. I love computer vision because it's a non-invasive technology. You can use just a camera. You don't have to attach nothing on horse, on riders, nothing. You use just a camera. Exists two levels of computer vision. The tracking. Tracking means just follow the movement of an animal, of a group of animals, to see the movement, the use of the space, the social interaction, and later I show an example. But there is an advanced level of computer vision that is the pose estimation. And in our project, in CHAMP project, we want to use this level because we want to identify the exact position of the body part of a horse and also the angle of this body part. But let me show you an example on tracking. Of course, on dairy cows are not horses. This is one of our projects. I'm very proud on this project. We put different wide-angle cameras in a barn with 240 dairy cows, and we use an algorithm that in automatic way identify each single animal, track the movement of these cows, and thanks to this algorithm, we studied the movement, the use of the space, the social interaction, and also the social preference of these animals. So, but let's go about the pose estimation. For the pose estimation in our project, we want to use DeepLabCut. That is a software that here you can see in this video, put in automatic way some landmarks on the body part of an animal. Here there are some examples of on mouses and rat. You can see also the angle of the body parts. DeepLabCut use neural network that are algorithm commonly used in image analysis. And we want to apply this software on our horses. So far, exist very few examples on horses. Here you can see an example on the left, the original video. On the right, the markers put thanks to DeepLabCut. Here another example during walk. I'm sorry, because in the video it's impossible to see the link between one point and another to study the angle of the body of this horse, and an example during the gallop. We want to use this software for the pose estimation in our horses. We want to use 23 landmarks, but let's see, maybe we improve these landmarks. We want to analyze the movement of the horses during the gait. during the gait to monitor the limb movements, the angles, to understand, I don't know, the natural motion of each horse, and when it's possible, also to detect some irregularities, some anomalies, for example, lameness. And of course, we want to use the plap cut during jump, from the takeoff to landing, to understand the angles, the exact movement of the horse, because we want to understand the unique horse technique during jumping. This is the timeline of our project. First of all, we have to collect a lot of video collection a lot, because we have to train our algorithm, of course. Then we, first of all, because we have to teach to our algorithm our landmarks that we want to analyze, we put manually this landmark on the video, not on horses, for the training of the algorithm. Then we'll perform the algorithm training and the validation, because we want to analyze the performance of the algorithm, the accuracy and the precision, for example. And finally, we want to analyze this data and correlate this data with the other part of our project, for example, the genetic information, the morphological information, and the performance factors. So, for the last three parts of this diagram, we are quite independent, but we need some help for the video collection, because we need a lot of video for about jumping, about gaits. So if you want, we are welcome to help us for this part. And let me finish with two other technologies that we use in our project. First of all, the accelerometers. Probably you know the accelerometer, probably you use the accelerometer. In this project, we want to validate this accelerometer that is very small, is very lightweight. The weight is 0.6 gram. Used so far in wildlife, is not validated for horses, but the preliminary results are very good on horses. It's very precise, this accelerometer, and give us also some inter-individual differences. Here, for example, you can see 10 seconds of walk of two horses, full sibling, and you can see that there are some differences, because we want to analyze the unique movement patterns of each horse, and also the unique performance characteristic of each horse. Finally, is mentioned by Manuela before, we have this collaboration with the Department of Biology of the University of Turin about the bioacoustic. Bioacoustics is the study of the sound emitted by animals, by human beings, to analyze the stress level, for example, or the behavior. And here we want to analyze the respiratory frequency during the training, but also after the training, to study the recovery of the horses. And this is maybe similar of the video of Manuela. And here you can see the sonogram to analyze the sounds in relation to the videos. The other part of our project, also this part of bioacoustic, the part on accelerometer, and the part of analysis, our aims are improve the welfare of our horses and also improve the athletic performance. So, thank you for your attention.
So the next presentation is my colleague Michela Blondi from the University of Parma, that she will introduce the working package 3, where we are going to discuss about genomic.
Yes, thank you very much, Manuela, for the nice introduction. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Michela. I'm a genetist. I work mainly with cattle and horse genomics. And why cattle? Well, I'm from Parma, so perhaps you know already Parmesan cheese and how good it is. And there are so many cattle around, so I have the pleasure to work with the breeding association of Holstein cattle in Parma, where we do genomics. So we use this technology in practice. But of course, I'm also a horse person since the beginning when I was a child. So I really want to be part of the knowledge transfer. So what we do in practice already in cattle, we have to do it in horses as well in the future, very near future, I hope. So with that, I would like to introduce you to the genomic revolution and where it started. It started when we were able to sequence the first human genome. It was such a big project, 13 years of work, 20 universities involved, and $3 billion as well. Luckily now is much less expensive. The impact of this research was so big, especially because from there we opened the door to personalized medicine. So it was very big thing also for human. And why was it so difficult? Well, the main reason is the size of the genome. It's 3 billion letters. Only 4 types, A, C, T, G, but 3 billion. What is 3 billion? Is a lot, is a little. Just to give you some analogies. Maybe you have read The Lord of the Rings, perhaps. It's quite a big book. And with 3 billion letters, you can print 1,000 copies of that big book. So, another analogies, if each letter was 1 millimeter long, luckily is much smaller, the human genome would reach 3,000 kilometers. So from here to roughly Cape Nord. So again, quite a big distance. And what do we know in horses? The first horse was sequenced a bit later, in 2009. The size of the genome is more or less similar to the human one, 2.7 billion letters, 30 pairs of chromosome. It was a thoroughbred mare, which I'm quite proud I was able to meet in Cornell a couple of years ago. She's Twilight. And, well, just to make things a bit more practical. How do we read the genome in practice, right? So luckily, it's very big, but a lot of the region are shared among us, among horses. So in practice, we use SNP-chip genotyping. So we just read the region in the genome, the gene, that are different among horses. Just to give you another analogies, I know I'm gonna sound a bit weird. If we go to genotype those cars, actually we have a lot of the genes in those cars that are similar, like the genes that are responsible for 4 wheels are gonna be the same, 2 car mirrors again. But then if we want to genotype those cars for the speed or for the engine, then of course we are gonna have different genes, right? So now that I hope we are all on the same page, we go deeper on what do we know about the genetics behind sport performance. And to answer this question, I will mainly touch 2 work I was involved in. The first one, find early performance predictors, when I was in the Netherlands at Wageningen University under the supervision of Bart Dukra. I had the pleasure to work with KWPN data. The second one, evaluate signatures of selection in collaboration with Sofia Mikko and Susanne Eriksson from SLU University. I worked on SWB genomic data. So the first study, why do we need to find early performance predictors? I'm sure you know more than me that you have to wait quite a lot to have your horses performing at top level, right? And that is good, is fair for animal welfare, but from a genetic point of view, is really a pity. We want to know the genetic merit of our horses as early as possible, especially because the performance later in life is really entangled between the genetic of the horse and all the environment that had a role in that. So we need to find something that is genetically correlated with later performance in life, but that can we measure it earlier. So what we have done was to evaluate the genetic correlation between traits that were recorded during young horse competition, so from 4 to 7 years old in the KWPN stat book, and we correlated genetically with what happened later in life. We found quite nice correlation. There are those traits, jumping traits and canters one, that are highly genetically correlated. So I think it was pretty nice work. Can we do better? Perhaps. And we are going to see it in a minute. The other study I was involved is this one, much more molecular, more complex, was to evaluate signatures of selection in the genome. So to really understand which genes make a performer. And from what you can perhaps see from the picture on the left, every dot is a gene, and all the lines are the interaction between them. So really complex, a lot of genes involved, a lot of interaction among them. All in all, what we found that I think is quite interesting, at least fascinating for being a geneticist, that most of the genes we found to be under selection in performing horses are related to muscle contraction, synapses response, but also memory and learning. That means that, okay, you can have a very nice conformation, super gait, very good jump, but if you don't have the willing character to be with the rider, then it's going to be a bit more difficult. So everything we have found in this study was very complex, but I'm sure we have the knowledge, the skill to be part of the change, to be able to make genomics in practice. How to do so? This is one of the goals of the CHAMP project, and that's it. So we saw it already, this picture. We were there. We have genetic correlation with later performance in life. Can we do better? Can we have earlier predictors? Yes. With genomic selection, we want to go from there to here. So when the horse is in his first year of life. How can we do it? We first have to build an international reference population. What does it mean? We have to have horses both genotyped, so with the genome typed, and a lot of measurements taken in that horses, as my colleagues already showed you. And, well, we have to reach a big number of horses. My colleagues surely say big number, 1,000 horses. I'm a geneticist, so I want big data. So 1,000 is enough, but more will be better. And with that in mind, what can we do? What are the expected results of that research? First, we can rank the horses based on their genotype only. So we don't have to wait that the horse show a certain phenotype, but from its genotype we know already. So earlier in the first year of life. We can do more. We can optimize the breeding schemes then. And of course, I have been working with monogenic recessive lethal diseases as well in horses, and are a big thing. One of the, I'm sure you know the fragile foal syndrome, right? It's quite a big thing now in the sector. Is monogenic, is recessive, so you really don't know which are the carriers if you don't genotype them. So by genotyping horses, we can also prevent those very lethal diseases. So to sum up, with genomics, we have molecular advantages. We can optimize breeding goal. we have the opportunity to use genomics towards animal welfare. So please join the CHAM project to be part of the change. Thank you.
So the last part is a call of action and is performed by Clara Bordin. She will be our PhD student. But before to going ahead with the presentation, let me say thank you to our young researchers, Clara, Tommaso, and Vittoria, that really help us because they are the guys on the field. So we are a kind of... We stay in the office and they work, actually. So let to them to talk now.
Okay, so yeah, good afternoon, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be here with you, to meet you, and talk with you. I'm Clara Bordin, I'm a nutritionist, and I'm working at the University of Turin with Professor Valle and Professor Rosella. And of course, I'm not alone because today I'm the representative of the field team, but I'm with my colleagues, so Vittoria and Tommaso. Vittorio Rasti and Tommaso Danese from the University of Parma, which work with Michela Blondi. I will be quick. Basically, we are the people involved in the sampling collection, so if we want to join our project, you can see us at your stable, of course, if you want. We collect some information about your horses, so we ask you the horsehair, we collect the horsehair, then we collect the data regarding the pedigree. We record the weight and the head of the withers and also other morphometric measurements. And then we collect a lot of pictures and videos of your horses. And now you know why. Briefly, we will perform the DNA analysis, so we need to collect around 30-35 horsehair. Then, of course, we need to check the presence of the bull, which is necessary to perform this analysis, and then we put them in a plastic bag with the label and send to our lab. Then we will ask you a lot of information about your horses. Of course, the pedigrees of the dam and the serial line, the breed, the age, the national passport data, but if you have other information, they're really welcome. Then we will, using this tape, we will record the girth circumference to estimate the body weight. But if at your stable is present a weight scale, we will record also the weight using it. Then, as you can see, we will use an hippometer or gyrosometer if available, otherwise always this tape, to check the height of the wither, which is really fundamental for us because, yes, we will collect a lot of photos of your beautiful horses, and we prefer, if possible, to have them in a standard position, so with the back and neck aligned, like in a photo shooting session, and with the hooves on the ground, and of course with a light, in a proper light. And this is why, because using this mobile app and put the head of the wither as a reference point and measurements, we will obtain a lot of information, such as the linear measurements and the angular measurements. This is briefly what we do, so don't be worried to have us at your stable. We will be quick. And to conclude, I would like to remind you that, like in a puzzle, every horse, and so everyone can be really fundamental for this research and to be like a part of this adventure. So please join us and be part of the change. Yeah. Yes, there is a question. Maybe, I don't know if now we
Okay, thank you very much. No, I think really that if only we put the owner that are here today, we reach 1,000 horses. So it's not a huge goal. It's huge if nobody know about your project.
Okay. Yes, I don't know if it's already the time for the question because there was a question after. It's okay?
The question is you look for horses and I think we are all horse. The question is you look for horses and I think there's many people with horses. But the age of the horse that you want for your project, what is the ideal age?
Well, we collect all the type of horses, so it doesn't matter if they are 3 horses or more.
Okay.
We collect
so adult
all.
horses.
Yeah,
adults.
yeah. Also adult horses. It's not a matter of age. I mean, it's a matter of the number of horses.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm interested about the genetic side of this. You talked about trying to identify genes that enhance performance. I've very limited understanding, but isn't it a combination of genes that give you the performance? And is there a danger that we'll lock in on a particular combination that's seen as being very beneficial and ignore other combinations which are also beneficial?
Yes, you are fully right. So there are combination of genes, and that's the reason why when we do genomic selection, we really want to weight each SNP, so each marker that we have in the genome, and put a weight of that marker as well. So it's not just looking at few genes, but looking at the complete genome we have. So then in that way, we will not luckily waste any type of information. Yeah, so I think we can do it.
Yes, I think that as a owner, when we evaluate horses, we want to know what is trainable and what is genetic. So we evaluate if it's something that our rider can improve, or we have to buy as the nature that have to give as a gift to the horse. So these studies can help to clarify for us. Otherwise, we pay something that is the job of our rider that will do. So thank you a lot. If there are not other questions, we pass to the next topic. As I told you, now we want to share experience, and I hope in the future that other owners want to give their, bring here what they do and what they want to share with other owners. Now I want to speak to you about another fantastic project we did this year. We are really proud. Is our talent team. We start to support young talent. Take a seat. You have the three. And why? Because we need the next generation of champion, because we don't want only top rider, we want to produce leader for the future. And we want that the young generation has all the knowledge about the study we do. And for sure, this will be more helpful even in the training and in the competition. The other main objective is to create team spirit, because our sport is individualist and is so difficult. Who own more horses? That's the problem, that he has different horses in different stable with different rider. It is difficult to make them work as a team. We started with the 3 young talent that work together, they spend time together, they make team building together, and for sure what we see, they help each other, and this is fantastic. And when we speak about them, we have to give you horses, and then perhaps we have to exchange each other, because one horse can perform with your friends. They are happy because they want the maximum for the team. And this is something we have to bring in our sport, because team sport grow much more than the individual sport. And even to reach community of fan club loves team sport. And the other, we need your support. We are a team, so it's not Emanuele Anchisi with his horses. We are a team. We search from the support of other owner. We can co-own horses. We can bring horses to our rider together and to be together and enjoy our sport. That's why today I want to introduce our 3 fantastic young talent. Carolina Villanueva Suarez, 22 years old, lawyer. Lorenzo Patrese, 19 years old, young rider. He produces horses in a fantastic way. He breed, I think, even, and produces horses, but is even world champion in the Auto GT, world, I don't know in English how you say. So it's fantastic. He is able to combine two top sport and university. And Ferrante Anchisi, the youngest, is now 18 years old, super hard worker. And together they create something unbelievable. We started, were quite skeptical, but now we dream that this is the future for the sport. So I let them introduce you. I want to show you a small video, and then...
This team is incredibly beautiful. I think since the first day that we met each other, we really meshed incredibly well.
I'm checking my vital signs, got my battle lines going to war again. Feeling the rhythm inside of my chest, all I need is just a pen. I know you were born for this. You were born for this. We were born for this.
So, a huge welcome.
And of course to Scuderia in 1918 that brought us together. So, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed owners and pillars of the equestrian community, as we gather today, I want to remind you of a truth that resonates deeply in our sport. Success is not a solitary journey. It requires a collective effort, a synergy of talent, dedication, and unwavering support. Today, we three stand before you, three riders united by one goal, the Olympic Games. But in order to reach that pinnacle, we need your partnership, your belief in our potential, and your invaluable support. Now, we would each like to share our individual experiences that have shaped us into the riders that we are today. So first, I will present Ferrante. As Emanuele mentioned, Ferrante's story is one of resilience and a story of ambition. He is the embodiment of relentless drive and tireless work ethic. He is the first one up in the morning and the last one to leave the stable at night. I am testament to this. And running his own stable since the age of 16, which is super young, his dedication, ambition, and laser focus on the horse's well-being has been at the core of his successes. Training under the instruction of Giorgio Nuti, three-time Olympian, for the past 2 years, he has represented Italy in various Junior Nations Cups and currently holds the second position in the junior national ranking.
And I will present Lorenzo Patrese. Lorenzo's journey in equestrian sport is defined by passion, commitment, and strong focus on developing young horses to reach their full potential. He takes pride in building lasting partnership with his horses, many of which he has raised from a young age or sourced as promising prospect. Through consistent and thoughtful training, he has helped this horse progress to compete successfully at 1.50 m level and in various Young Rider Nations Cup, reflecting his abilities to nurture talent and bring it to fruition.
So, as you can imagine, I will present Carolina, and Carolina's story is really amazing. It's one of unbreakable determination, relentless perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to her goals. She is the rider of the team which has, for sure, most experience at the big sport, having jumped 4 Olympic qualifiers, 1 Young Rider European Championship, and 3 Senior Nations Cups. Now, having relocated to Italy to ride professionally, Carolina continues to be an exceptionally competitive rider and always wears her distinctive smile, a symbol of her strength and resilience. So moving on, though each of us has our journey, we are united as one. Behind every success and milestone is a dedicated team, a group of professionals, mentors and supporters who make our journeys possible. Being team riders for Scuderia 1918 is an immense honor, giving us access to some of the best resources and minds in show jumping. At the heart of Scuderia 1918's approach, as you saw, is an unparalleled commitment to horse welfare. Every detail is monitored, from water intake to stall temperature and movement, ensuring each horse's comfort and health around the clock. This level of care, paired with the guidance of Olympic team coach Giorgio Nuti, allows us to tailor our training precisely to each horse's needs, combining top-tier care with individualized training. As mentioned, our collaboration with the universities keeps our horses at peak performance while emphasizing their long-term health. This dedicated, data-driven approach gives us an edge, allowing our horses to perform at their best, sustainably. A commitment that sets us apart and mirrors our personal values as riders.
Having heard Lorenzo discuss our team's collective expertise and our deep and profound commitment to the well-being of every horse in our stable, we trust that this provides you with the confidence that your horses will be in the right hands, hopefully. To become a top rider in show jumping, it is no secret that a young athlete needs the right horse at the right time. And this is why we need you to invest in us. As a wise man once said, the more you ride, the better you get, and the better horses you have, the faster you progress. And having access to a range of horses at different stages of development is essential for long-term success. Our team believes that horses make the riders, but the riders also make the horses. And we are very keen on creating individualized plans for each horse with the guidance of our trainer, Giorgio Nuti, the entire team behind us at Scuderia 1918, and our owners. This open, transparent, and holistic approach to training and competing your horses is what will mark the difference in the end.
As Emanuela Valle mentioned in her discourse, for us, the horse's well-being is the priority. As is that, the owners are happy with how their horses are progressing and with the work that we put forward. If it's true, the result will follow. Having access to a range of horses at different stages of development is essential for long-term success. Each group serves a unique role. Older horses provide us with experience and allowed us to ultimately begin competing at high level almost immediately. Horses that are aged 7 to 8 offer immeasurable opportunity, steadily produce the horse while still being able to compete at a high level. And finally, horses aged 5 to 6 provide us with the opportunity to truly produce them from the ground up, while giving them the time and the space to learn and grow. All in all, our team's commitment to individualized care, strategic development, and a focus on long-term success ensures that both the horse and the rider in our program are set up for the highest level of achievement. Because when horses thrive, so do their riders.
So, to conclude, I conclude with a quote. There could be 100 people in one room and 99 don't believe in you. All it takes is one, that one person to believe in you, and it could change everything. For us, this one person could be you, It could be even more than one, which would be even better. And together with the right horses and the right commitment, we believe that we have the potential to achieve greatness, both for our riders and for the horses in our care. As a team, we are dedicated to ensuring that every horse is developed with patience, expertise, and care, and we trust that this approach will lead to success. We truly, truly hope that one of you or more will join us on this journey, because success is not a journey. It is a journey, it's not a destination. Thank you so much.
So thank you a lot, and I think that if we have to summarize this summit, the right word is inclusivity. As Jumping Owners Club, we want more owners join us. We want to include you in our club. As Scuderia 1919 Research Training Center, we want you partner in our research to share what we do and to do bigger, and even with the young talent to be together to create the next generation, as I told, of leader, because we need this. And I think that what the feeling we have of they are only one, this is fantastic for me, because it's something new in our sport, and we have to put all the effort to help them. So thank you very much to everybody. I don't know if somebody has some question, for sure for the Jumping Owners Club or for the researcher, but I remind you that 6:30, we are all invited in the Army, how do you say, il circolo ufficiali dell'esercito italiano for a cocktail. So we have the time to speak together all the evening. So thank you very much to everybody. Thanks.